family.
Oh, yeah.
It's time to be just you and me on the love seat.
I love you.
It's time to be just you and me on the love seat. So, let's talk.
Hello, I'm Cheryl,
Hey, and I'm Steffron.
and we are
The Jameses.
Welcome back to another episode of Love Seat Conversation, is what we will call it today, because we love having you join us for some really good conversation. Because our desire is for you to have tools so that you can show up as the best version of yourself. So thank you.
Hey, go out there. Join us. Join the community. You can find us at SherylandSteffron.com. You can go to our Facebook, our Instagram. We're out there. Go listen to some of those podcasts.
Yes.
We got some doozies out there that are just waiting for you to listen to.
And we love your feedback on them. You
Oh,
let
yes,
us know as
please.
you listen. Please give us that cheering or saying, we'd love for you to cover this. Ooh, I really like that. We've had several individuals that have told us, ooh, that one was spicy. Ooh, that one was good. Ooh, that one gave me tools. So again, as my husband said, go back and view those or listen to those, and then let us know how it is making a difference in helping you. Because again, we are the Love Seat community, and we want to all be the best that we can be.
Hey, so today we want to challenge your thinking and throw out a topic that we are very excited about. We recognize that we were doing this, but then we had to put some legs to it. And remember, like Cheryl said earlier, we're looking to give you tools to help you navigate the
Yes.
things that can dismantle, disrupt, and stop a smooth flow in your relationship.
Because they will come.
They will.
So that's the first thing, to acknowledge that they will come. But when we are prepared and when we are armed, we have a better chance of being successful.
So the title of our conversation today is Read the Moment.
Ooh, read
Now-
the moment.
So if you're wondering what that means, listen to this. Life is a series of linked moments that give us the capacity to influence our next with our decisions now.
Okay, stay right there. So there are things that happen, and I have to think before I act or react, because this could impact. Oh, did you hear that? That was good, wasn't that? This could impact what happens next.
Amen.
Okay.
So life is this series of moments that one moment is directly connected and that next moment is contingent upon how I handle this moment.
That's
And so
good.
when we realize there are moments that a relationship faces that have the opportunity, listen to me, opportunity to create a deeper connection or a widening separation.
Ooh, ouch.
How we see certain moments, the moment will often determine the impact of the moment. Woo!
That was good.
Here's the thing. In that moment, what we decide, how we decide, determines if that moment creates a, if you will, a unraveling or a tying together. And we're going to give you some examples of this as we go through.
Because just because you have to make a decision quick does not mean that it has to be thoughtless.
Come on. We've talked about that, haven't we?
Absolutely.
All right, so reading the moment hopefully gives us a glimpse that what we like are short-term connectedness, what we like our relationship to look like, and what we like it to feel like in the next moment. It gives us a chance to adjust so we can predict what our next might be.
Ooh, now that was a mouthful. Y'all like, wait a minute, I'm supposed to think now, for later, look at later, do it now, all of that. Yes.
Yeah, because see, we want that to cause you to start thinking. Because here's what's happening. Am I or can I get okay enough in this moment to adjust myself in this moment so our next moment can be good?
Okay, so now we're going to give you a little story that goes with that. So part of our non-negotiables We had several, and we're going to do a podcast on that a little bit later, my husband said. So, one of ours was we will never sleep or alone. If we're at home, we both sleep in the same bed.
We get up from wherever we are. I don't care if we fall asleep. We are going to both be together, cuddled up, wrapped up, spooning.
Okay, wait a
whatever.
minute. You're giving them too much. You're giving the people
all
too
right,
much,
whatever.
baby.
Okay, all
we
right.
sleep
Anyway.
in the same bed. Okay. So there was a night that I didn't feel the best, and my
Your
leg
was hurt.
aching. And so I knew I had a very heavy day the next day. And I noticed that when I would sit up, my leg would feel better. So I just said it and put it in the atmosphere. Oh, I think I might need to sleep on the sofa tonight. Now, I was well aware of what our non-negotiable said, that we do not sleep apart when we're at home. But I put it in the atmosphere and I just let it
She
sit
had
there.
a sleeping on the couch moment.
And so, because my husband was aware that my leg was aching and all of that, he read the moment properly.
Not at first.
Not at first. See, I was waiting for you to say this. I was going ahead and try to give you a prompt.
Yeah,
Thank you for being honest with the people.
Because I got in the bed with a little bit of attitude.
You had a little bit of a toot.
Yeah, because not only did she say, I think I might need to sleep on the couch, she gave no explanation to it.
And here is why I gave no explanation. Because he was well aware that my leg had been hurting.
Yeah, I
and
was.
so I just put it
But
out
I got
there.
in my feelings there
You
for
did.
a moment.
You did.
Yeah, but it was okay.
Because what you said, can I be okay with this moment?
Let me read that again.
Okay.
Am I or can I get okay enough in this moment to adjust myself in this moment so our next moment can be good?
Because looking at this story, it could have gone bad.
Yeah.
But it did not. So I slept on the sofa. I got up the next day. I was able to do what I needed to do. He didn't greet me with an attitude. He was like, okay, babe, how can I help you? What do you need? Did you rest well? Did that help? And so we had this conversation. I'm like, this dude is cool. Okay, I'm good with that. So I was able to go out through my day. And then the night after I finished my entire day and it was busy and I was able to make it through, do you know what I did the next night? I went and got myself back in the bed where I'm supposed to be. Because here is what you do. When you have an adjustment that needs to be made, you do not make it a new long-term decision. It was the moment that we needed that I needed to be on the sofa so my leg could be better. He read that and said, my feelings about a thing are going to be overridden by what's best.
Oh, come
I'm
on.
not going to give into what I feel, because he was like, that first look was like, now you know how this work in this house. But then I saw the eyes of compassion. I saw the eyes that said, it's more important for you to have what you need than for me to give into what I feel.
Wow.
And that right there said, you know what? The power of reading this moment correctly infuse the power of the next moment that was to come. So that's why I found myself on my way back to where I was supposed to be, because we treated that moment well. And so again, sometimes non-negotiables or things that you would set, sometimes they need a minor period where things can be adjusted.
What we call that is a circumstantial provision.
Isn't that good? A
Yeah.
circumstantial provision, which means that's for that circumstance.
And
And then I need you to get your mind together and you go back to what we said. Because what can happen when you don't operate in a moment well, you can abuse something that had been set in place. Because then I could have said, well, he was fine with it last night. He ought to be fine with it tonight.
That's right.
No, there was an understanding because of the busyness of the next day. Well, the following put us back in our normal routine. So that means you go back to what's been set and what's been established and what you all have agreed upon. And then it helps it to be easier for me to make adjustments when needed based on how I read the moment.
And let me tell you the powerful part of this. I knew the critical moment was going to be the next morning.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting out of bed. She's getting up off the couch. How we engaged each other
Hmm.
right then was going to determine what the moments of our day would be.
Absolutely.
I knew she had major plans that day. I knew there were major obligations she had. The last thing I want to do as a person who has goodwill towards her, has
Hmm.
love towards her, is cause her day to be altered because I'm in my feelings about something that I already see she's already going to have a struggle with.
Oh, that's so
So
good,
watch
babe.
this. So when she gets up that next morning, we get up, babe, how are you doing? This I'm gonna walk you through kind of our conversation. Babe, how was your night? I feel much better, babe. I am so glad because I was so concerned that
Hmm.
even though you slept on the couch, it still wasn't going to get you what you needed. Is there anything I can do to help? What was I doing? Letting her know there was nothing of what she saw in my eyes the first thing that night. But yeah, look, I had to do some self talk.
Yeah, you had to govern your
You
emotions.
you had to come on now. You
You
had to
had to
put that in
be
check.
responsible for your feelings.
And listen what she said. She said, babe, I know it was hard for you to not have me in the bed last night, but I'm so thankful
Hmm.
that you gave me that grace. What did she do? She acknowledged that there was a place there that I
Yes.
could have been soaking in and that it was valuable to her that I gave consideration to that. And because of that, guess what it created? Now, she talked about getting into bed the next night, but girlfriend came to the bed the next night.
I done told you about giving the people too much information. But there is nothing
Come on,
more
say it, babe.
attractive
Come on, baby.
than someone that gets you and is willing to meet you where you are. We say oftentimes on this podcast that life change, we change, situations change. And when you cannot be flexible, when you cannot read a moment well and say, this is what we usually do, but this is what my partner needs right then it causes unnecessary tension
Come
and it
on.
causes things not to flow smoothly later. You know,
That's
I
it.
used to eat a candy that was called Now and Later. It said eat some now and save some for later. Well, we like to use this with this, podcast. Read the moment right now,
Now,
have a better moment later.
moments lead to moments.
Absolutely.
And the moment we are in has everything to do with the next moment we experience. So moments now, see, we talking about the sleeping on the couch moment, but your moment could be something else.
Hmm.
All of us are going through this linked moment by moment experience, but how we experience situations, circumstance,
Circumstances,
and
right?
how we choose to navigate them. But we have to incorporate that we have to deal with another person.
Yes, it's
It's
not
not
all about
just
us.
us.
And so the danger is when we misunderstand the moment, it can disrupt so many things. When we're talking to couples, when it boils down to it, it usually is because somebody misunderstood and did not operate in one particular moment because it has the ability to have a ripple effect. But if you can just say, okay, let me read this moment. What is she trying to say? Just talking about us, and you can insert your situation and circumstance. But when we're saying, I'm throwing it out there saying, here's what I need. He gets the privilege to catch that and provide what I need. And then on the next moment, we both get our needs met.
Come on, come on. Because see, when we're misunderstood in a moment, this has the potential to create a disruptive moment.
Hmm.
And that disruptive moment is when we have a break from the prescribed norm,
Hmm.
the expected, or something you've set in place that you think is unmovable. Because we have misunderstood moments and misread them, we never accurately get to assess the message we have the potential to glean, which is what does my loved one, my spouse,
Hmm.
this person I'm in
Need
relation
in this
need
moment.
in this moment. And if we could get to that need, every one of us wants to feel valued and that we're important.
Mhm.
And that value is established by you recognizing what I need. And when you give that to me, it creates a connection and we can
Yes.
create a sequence of moments that deepens everything about
And
us.
you know what it said to me? That I can trust you with me.
Come on.
I can trust you
Even without a full explanation.
without a full explanation because I know you've watched me. I know you study me. I know you care for me. So you know that I wouldn't intentionally adjust what we said without needing that adjustment.
Yeah.
And you also knew that I would not abuse the adjustment. That comes from studying, that comes from learning, that comes from getting to know the person inside. And so, what pretty much sure you knew that that break in our schedule was not permanent,
Yeah.
that this was for this situation and that we would return to our regularly scheduled program.
Yeah, cause see, the problem with our in a lot of the relationships we get to talk to is that we have people that say, "Hey, this is what he did to me. This is what she did to me." Well, then how did you respond? And when they responded, the other person comes back and says, "I was just trying to tell you this,
Hmm.
but because the moment got hijacked."
Oh, that's
That the
good.
moment got hijacked by a
Wow.
feeling of offense and irritability and stuff, and we miss the opportunity to pull that person close to us. And
Mm,
that's what we have to get to. Because see, most moments with a break are not permanent.
they're not.
But if we react to them wrong, we can create this thing that just keeps snowballing and gets worse and worse. So your moment, I'm gonna up that moment, and I'm
Yeah.
gonna up that moment. Instead of bringing the moments and linking them for good, we link them for our disruption and destruction.
Because then those moments turn into 24 hours and then
Yeah,
turn into 48 hours. And what precious time have we wasted
yeah,
just because we could not properly read a moment and respond accordingly? And that's where, like you said, that disruption come. But we don't want to hijack moments. We only have few moments and we want to live those moments well. So we have to be okay with adjustments that are temporary. We have to be okay if our spouse needs something that's a little bit different out
different
of the
than what we
norm.
normally
And
get.
again, not just dealing with it with an attitude, but being okay. And I love that Babe said from the beginning, at first I wasn't okay
Mm-mm.
because I'm looking like, no, this is not going to go well tonight. But I was able to look beyond that and say, you know what?
Yeah, cause at first I wanted to throw a pillow at you, but that's a whole
But
nother thing.
instead of throwing a pillow, you gave me a pillow. You made
Yeah.
sure I was comfortable. You made sure I was good, even though it wasn't what you wanted and wasn't the most comfortable for you.
Wow. Wow.
That's what
I'm a pretty
this
good guy,
marriage
ain't I?
is about. You are a great guy. You're my fit, babe. You are.
Now,
And so we do that. That should be reciprocated. That should never just be one sided.
yeah,
If he has to make adjustments for me, there are times I have to make adjustments for him. And just as he makes the decision to be okay, see, because being okay doesn't just happen,
that's
you
right.
have to make a decision to be okay. Just as he makes the decision to be okay, I have to make the decision to be okay. Because sometimes, if we're not careful, we will let you read all the moments and I don't have to read them.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Come on, go, bring that, baby.
But it
Bring
is
that.
equal opportunity up in here.
Yeah.
That as kind and as gracious as I am to when you had a moment, I expect, and that's the things you can do in relationships. You can expect the same grace and the same um, kindness and being okay that you need in your moment because we're all going to have moments, but it's how they're read which determines how we navigate through situations and circumstances.
And realize this: just because we're reading a moment, like Cheryl and I, and she just told you a little while ago, we're going to do these non-negotiables. We have non-negotiables. But if there aren't these circumstantial provisions,
Mm-hmm.
our non-negotiables can become very legalistic, and they
That's
have no
good.
grace for options outside of that. But what we're saying with these circumstantial provisions, let me give you a good example. So we believe in greeting each other when we come home. But
Yes.
if I'm on a phone call with a client, I can make a gentle acknowledgement of hi, babe, with my eyes or something. She doesn't get, well, you didn't come kiss me when you came in the door.
Right.
You didn't come give me a hug. We said we would never do that. Once I get off the phone, I can come lay it on her. But in
But then
that
I have to be
moment,
in the right mindset.
come on now.
Because if I now have an attitude because I misread the moment, I don't know who you're talking to, but ain't none of them more important than me. Baby, if he
Come
making
on
a
with it.
business deal, yes it is. Yes it is. That at that moment,
Cause girlfriend
let him
like
finish
the
phone
coins.
call.
Girlfriend like the
Finish the
coins.
phone call. But if you are not in a good, healthy space,
Come on now.
and you don't understand making provisions for that certain moment, or you misread the moment, you can then now be in a place and you're coming to me to say, now, hey babe, how you doing? And I'm like, it's too late now. See, those are things that happen on daily basis that we don't monitor, we don't recognize. And so these moments get away just because we don't take time to read them properly, or don't misread them. Don't
on.
misread a moment.
That's it.
And so if the enemy can try anything, he'll find a very small loophole. And sometimes again, it's just for that moment.
And so don't make a provisional provision your norm.
Mm-hmm.
Make that adjustment for the moment, but then get back to what you know will keep you strong, healthy, vibrant, and operating in the expectation and the non-negotiables
Yes.
that you've set up.
So here's your homework assignment. Learn how to read the moment.
And you can get it wrong sometimes.
Yes.
But don't let it be the rule or the most that you do. Get it to where you're reading it right most of the time.
And then, after that moment, return back to your regularly scheduled program. That will help your spouse to be okay when there needs to be a break in your routine. We
Thank
love
you, guys.
Yes.
Appreciate you joining us here on the Love Seat. This is Sheryl and Steffron at SherylandSteffron.com. We love you, and we look forward to seeing you again on
The Love Seat.
Thank you for joining us here on the Love Seat. We would love to hear from you, so share your thoughts, comments, and topics you'd like for us to discuss, or any questions you may have by texting us at area code 423-401-8972, or go to our website, SherylandSteffron.com. Also, check us out on Facebook and Instagram at Sheryl and Steffron. We invite you to join the Love Seat community. It's a place where we, as husbands and wives, can come together to get the tools to help us show up as the best version of ourselves in our marriages. So, know that we love you, believe in you, and look to connect with you next time here on the Love Seat.